Welcome back to Mr. C's Cooking Experiment. This is episode 9. It is a new year. We're going to be doing all types of new stuff, new videos in food bites, center of the plate. I decided to do the first video of 2021 paying tribute to yet another chef. You guys have seen me do this in videos before. Episode 7 was to David Danilek, who mentored me when I got out of school at the Frog Commissary. So I'm going to tell you the story. When I got out of the Frog Commissary, I was given a job at a restaurant in Society Hill called the Dickens Inn. I was hired by an Englishman. His name was Bruce Temple. And within 48 hours of me starting and working for Bruce Temple, he was, how shall I say it, fired, terminated, canned, sacked, okay? So I didn't know what to do at that point in time, but in comes Brendan Kinsella, who was one of the owners, with this guy. His name was Ben McNamara. And Ben McNamara, he grew up in Society Hill, and that's kind of how we kind of connected, because he grew up in the same neighborhood. He had trained in Europe, had been a chef at the Monte Carlo Living Room, the Garden, just as a couple great examples of great restaurants that he had worked at. And he had worked in England. So he took over the reins of the kitchen. At that time, that was when all the lessons began. There were lots of lessons that were taught, to be honest with you. Lesson number 1 was that day. He actually gave me a chance to be the sous chef, because you know, when you take over a kitchen, you could turn around, bring your own people in, and say, everybody goes, you know. But that was the beginning, and that's a lesson I took through every single kitchen I ever took over. I gave everybody a chance, and 9 out of 10 times, those people were good. And they, with the right encouragement, they became really good chefs. This was what Ben McNamara did at that kitchen and at that time, probably is unprecedented today. It was a true scratch kitchen. I mean, we did things, and I made this huge list here. I mean, the list is long of things that he taught me and the other chefs that were in the Dickens Inn. But, I mean, we took whole proteins. We broke whole proteins down: fish, beef, chicken, stock from bones, lobster, veal, chicken stock, fish stock, beurre blanc on the line, how to do reduction sauces during service, and the list is on and on. I mean, and chowder clams. We shucked chowder clams for clam chowder. Who the hell does that? Nobody does that. So at this point, I said to myself, you know, throughout my career, you take a look at all my menus, and I got to be honest with you, there's McNamara influences into today. Doesn't make any difference. Whether it's from the sauces or to how I go and present things, this guy had a huge impact on me stepping up in my career. So, this episode is going to be dedicated to Ben McNamara, who's really, really great chef. And we're going to do Toad in the Hole. Because I said, why don't I do something fun? I tried to figure out what would be like, you know, should we do the duck with cassis rosemary sauce, or, I don't know, a ploughman's platter or something like that. But I said, let's do something fun. Let's do Toad in the Hole. I just thought it'd be a really fun dish to do. So what do you say we get to it? Come on. Right. Okay, Toad in the Hole, the ingredients. Got a couple nice pieces of English sausage here. We've got half a cup of beer, half a cup of whole milk. Not skim milk, but whole milk. Not reduced fat milk, whole milk. All-purpose flour, 1 cup, 3 eggs, and I got about 1/4 cup of vegetable oil here, and I'll tell you what we're going to do with that a little bit later. Very simply, you're going to want to go and preheat your oven to 450 degrees. All right, you're also going to want to have your pan in the oven that you're going to do this, heating in the oven ahead of time while we roast these sausages. So I'm going to show you very quickly how we put the batter together. Okay. So you're going to want to beat your eggs in here first. Get them well beaten. then I add all the milk first. Well incorporated. I'm going to add a little bit of flour, a little bit at a time here. Make sure you whisk it so you can whisk out any of the lumps. You can see now that come together. Whip it. And that's way thick. Now is the time that I start adding in my salt, seasoning. Now is the time that I add the beer. The good lager beer here. I think when we did Yorkshire pudding batter at the inn, we used Guinness. McNamara, if you want to add a comment to the comment box, tell me if I'm right or wrong. It would be great. All right, and you have the consistency here of really like a heavy cream, to be honest with you. So here's one of the things that I found out when I started testing this recipe, was the best thing was to let this rest for about an hour, and you'll let the gluten kind of rest for that, and it will rise a lot better if you do that. So we've preheated our oven to 450. Now we're going to start with the sausages. Okay, as I had said before, we have our oven preheated at 450 and a pan in the oven right now heating up, because that's an important piece. All right, we're going to start cooking our sausages in here now. We're going to go in brown though, so as you can see I don't even need to have the heat on. And I can hear McNamara saying now, what a wanker, he didn't use beef fat. You're right, I didn't. But that's what the third or quarter cup of vegetable oil was for in the oven. What we're going to do here is we're going to go and just get those started here and then finish them in the oven. About 10 minutes actually right now. Then we're going to show you how we put the Yorkshire batter in there. Okay, so our sausages are ready, and here's a very key part to how this works. I'm going to pull this out just a little bit so that you can see it. Right here, we're going to leave the pan right in here. We put 1 cup of this batter in here. So you'll see it bubble up. Push it right back in. Try not to lose that heat. Okay, and we're going to leave that in there for about 30 minutes. Here's a very key thing. Do not open your oven door or it will fall. So, put your oven light on so you can take a look in, but don't open up the door or it's not going to keep its shape when it's done. All right, folks, our 30 minutes is up. Let's see how we did here. Oh, this is a beautiful thing right here. Look at that. Right? Now that is a nice looking toad in the hole right there. So a couple things to add here. Not going to be a really good toad in the hole. That's some really good onion gravy. Put some onion gravy in there, right in the center. Top of those sausages. And throw ourselves a bit of a garnish right there. Pick up! So there's that. There's one thing missing. Good old pint of lager. So there you have it. Toad in the hole. Alright, so it's lunchtime down here in South Florida. I'm going to enjoy this toad in the hole and this pint of beer. Ben McNamara, without your guidance and all the things you taught me, I'm definitely not the chef I am today. So this one's for you, pal. when this whole crazy world gets back to normal, you and I are going to get together. We're going to swap some stories from the old days. We're going to have a pint together. Till then, cheers, mate. And for the rest of you, if you eat well, you're going to be well. Thanks for watching.